Ever wondered how to ace the AP language exam? Well, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into a treasure trove of tactics that will guide you through the labyrinth of reading and annotation strategies, help you decode the enigmas of complex texts, and shine a light on the art of identifying rhetorical devices and techniques. We'll even show you how to craft a masterful thesis statement and develop a persuasive argument. By the end of this video, you will have the tools to confidently approach the AP language exam. First off, we'll delve into effective reading and annotation strategies. Active reading is an essential tool in your academic arsenal. It's not just about skimming through the lines, but truly engaging with the text. It's a dialogue between you and the author, where you question, ponder, and absorb the information. When you read actively, you're not just a passive recipient of knowledge, but an active participant in its creation. Now you might wonder, how do you actually do this? The answer is annotation. Annotation is the act of noting down your thoughts, questions, and observations while you read. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for yourself, so you can trace your thought process when you revisit the text. But how do you annotate effectively? Here are a few tips. 1. Underline or highlight key points. This could be anything: an argument the author is making, a fact you find interesting, or a word you don't understand. But remember not to get carried away and highlight everything. Stick to the most important points. 2. Jot down your thoughts in the margins. This is where you engage with the text. Ask questions, make connections, or note down your thoughts. 3. Use symbols. Symbols can be a quick way to note down your thoughts without writing lengthy notes. For example, a question mark could indicate something you didn't understand, while an exclamation point could indicate a surprising point. 4. Create a summary at the end of each section. This helps consolidate your understanding and makes it easier to review later. And lastly, revisit your annotations. Annotations are not a one-and-done thing. They're a tool for you to engage with the text over time. So, revisit them, add to them, and revise them as your understanding evolves. Remember, the goal here is not to create a pretty, color-coded system, but to engage deeply with the text. So don't stress about making your annotations perfect. The most important thing is that they help you understand and remember the information. Remember, effective reading and annotation are the foundations of understanding any text. Now that you've got the basics down, let's tackle those intimidating complex texts. Complex texts can often seem like a labyrinth of convoluted ideas and intricate language. But fear not. Just like a labyrinth, they can be navigated, and the key is knowing how to break them down. First, let's look at sentences. When you stumble upon a long and complicated sentence, don't get overwhelmed. Instead, try to divide it into smaller parts. Look for conjunctions, punctuation, and transition words. These are your signposts. They can help you understand how different parts of the sentence connect and interact with each other. Next, we move on to paragraphs. A paragraph is like a mini-story with a beginning, middle, and end. Start by identifying the topic sentence, usually the first one, that presents the main idea. The following sentences will elaborate on this idea, provide evidence, or explore different perspectives. The concluding sentence often summarizes the paragraph or sets up the next one. Now, how about the entire text? To identify the main idea, you need to look beyond individual sentences or paragraphs. Try to summarize the text in one sentence. What is the author trying to say? What's the overall message? This brings us to the author's intention. Sometimes it's not just about what the author says, but why they say it. Are they trying to persuade, inform, or entertain? Do they want to evoke a certain emotion or provoke thought? Identifying the author's intention can give you great insights into the text and help you understand it on a deeper level. And finally, remember that understanding complex texts is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. The more you practice, the better you get. Start with shorter texts and gradually move on to longer, more complex ones. It's like weight training. You don't start by lifting the heaviest weight. You start small and gradually increase the weight as you build your strength. Decoding complex texts is like solving a puzzle. With practice, it becomes easier and even fun. Scene script. Next up is the art of identifying rhetorical devices and techniques. Diving right in, rhetorical devices and techniques are tools that authors use to persuade, inform, or entertain their readers. They are the secret spices that add flavor to a text, making it more engaging and compelling. Understanding these devices is akin to having a decoder ring, allowing you to unlock the hidden depths of an author's message. Now, why are these tools important? Well, they help you read between the lines, to see not just what the author is saying, but how they're saying it. You'll come to appreciate the craft of writing, and more importantly, you'll be able to present insightful, nuanced analyses in your essays. Let's take a look at some common rhetorical devices and techniques to give you a sense of what we're talking about. First off, we have metaphors and similes. These are comparisons that help to paint a vivid picture in the reader's mind. An author might say, "Her eyes were stars," using a metaphor to draw a direct comparison, or "His temper was like a storm," using a simile to make a comparison with like or as. Next, we have hyperbole, which is deliberate exaggeration for emphasis or dramatic effect. If a text says, "I've told you a million times," don't take it literally. It's just the writer's way of highlighting the point. Another common device is irony, where the meaning is contrary to the words being used. For instance, if a character steps out into a thunderstorm and says, "What lovely weather we're having," that's irony for you. And finally, there's alliteration, where the same sound is repeated at the start of adjacent or closely connected words. It's often used in poetry and prose to create a rhythmic effect. These are just a few examples. There's a whole treasure trove of rhetorical devices and techniques waiting to be discovered. Mastering the identification of rhetorical devices will give you a deeper understanding of the text and its purpose, and it'll make your literary journey all the more enriching. Enjoy the exploration. We've covered a lot today, so here's a quick recap. We dove into reading and annotation strategies, honing in on the importance of active engagement with texts. We navigated the labyrinth of decoding complex texts, breaking down intricate ideas into understandable chunks. We then explored the world of rhetorical devices and techniques, identifying their roles in persuasive writing. With these strategies in your toolkit, you're well on your way to acing the AP language exam. Happy studying!